Down the auction professor with some good news. eBay actually fixed the business policies. They were a day late, but it actually works, and it works very well. And if you're not familiar with the business policies, what the business policies will do for you, it will allow you to change in one tiny spot in just a matter of moments an aspect of every single listing you have up. So if you're like me and you have a ton of stuff up, or even if you don't have a ton of stuff up and you would have to go in and edit something, you don't have to do that anymore. You can set up business policies. I was literally waiting on this because I didn't want to turn over any of the 30-day, seller returns, pay for returns until I had to, just to limit any exposure ahead of time. Literally, they got it working today. I can't really clean it up. There's some issues with it still. But the key factors, the return policy here, I've already set up, and it's really simple. I literally have every listing I have under this one is set up that way. And it's been a big plus for us. I was instantly able to fix my listings through this. It took about 20 or 30 minutes for me to get rid of the multiple ones. See how you see here, the shipping ones? I had a whole mess of different payments and returns. I cleaned those up first because the returns were the biggest issue that I was worried about. And let me show you here. Let's highlight one and go into one here, and we're going to edit it. It's really simple, too. When you look at your listings now, and I'll actually show you. I'll show you a listing here in a minute, too, after this. It's totally changed your listing form. It eliminates the need to mess with anything on the bottom. It shortens the form up. It's easier if you use a phone, at least from what I see. I haven't tried it on a phone yet. But this way here, it's a quick, easy fix. You can literally just returns accepted. Pick up the amount of days you want. I'm only doing 30, obviously. And I usually just do money back and don't worry about exchange. And then who pays return shipping? A seller. And obviously you can change it to buyer or not. But if you want to keep the top rated plus to get your discount off your final value fees, you need to offer this. And again, I've talked about this before. The top rated seller plus status is like having a buy box like you would on Amazon, on eBay. There is no buy box yet. But as you see, they're doing centralized listings where you're going to be listing with a bunch of other people, and it's basically going to be a buy box. So if you're going to continue doing clothing or items that are going to be going into, the multi-one format listing like that, like Amazon does, you're really going to need to have the best possible feedback you can get. Or, if eBay comes out with a buy box, maybe that'll work that way too. But as of now, your feedback is the most important thing you have going for you with the buy box. We're going to confirm this because we didn't change it. I've altered the names and the whole works. I changed the returns to standard return policy, payments just to standard payment policy. And I gave little notes. This is the easiest thing for my employees. There's no sense anymore in messing around. Now, the shipping part is another story. You can see all of the various shipping, and that's not even all of them. I'm going to switch it to 200. And you will see that there is over 200 different types of shipping that they have set up. Now, this is because they switched over my listings from obviously multiple different options to just one standardized, or at least they tried to. And I'm going to have to go in here and whittle away at these here. And it's really easy. I can show you too, maybe in a future video. But I'm just going to set up a couple defaults for the shipping. And literally from there on in, I should be able to transfer everything over from there. So, there's a couple of hundred right now, but there was many more before this. I literally had to go in and, like some of these zeros here. In fact, you can't delete the zero, but we're going to delete these real quick and clean this up just a hair. They still don't have the functionality for cleaning up correct. There's some that failed and errored out, like this one here. This one doesn't even have a listing tied to it. It says it does, but there isn't. Unless it's changed, but I'm almost sure. I just checked this just a little while ago. I'm not going to bother calling eBay on this one because I don't really need to worry about this one. This item was something that had an offer on it, and I think it just got locked up. I've actually sold it now, so I'm thinking maybe once I clear it out of archive it after it's been sold and shipped, I might be able to clear that out a little better. But anyway, there's nothing there as you see, so there's just a few glitches here still. And the same on... oh, geez, this one here is an oddball one, too. That's the default, though. Yeah, that one's wrong, too. So we'll have to go in here and spend some time fixing this up. But once you fix these up, you have the ability to come in and alter, 500,000 listings, I think is what it said, or maybe it was 50,000. Yeah, I think it's 50,000 listings all at once. So you just go in here and you could change the return policy in just a matter of moments. 30-day free returns, I know you're going to want to probably switch it so the free returns are only for the U.S. And if you're not set up on the policies, you're going to have to go in and edit those, and you only can edit 500 at a time. So, depending on how many listings you have up, it might take you a little while to edit them. But with setting up the business policies, you can literally edit those in just a matter of moments. It literally takes just a few seconds to change it. Literally, you saw how quick I got in and out, and that's literally how it is. And on like the shipping ones here, I'll just hit the big ones first, and it'll transfer one of these to the default one, and that'll fix the issue really quick. But there's a lot of different things you can do with this. It's all tied into my account. This is one of the best features I think eBay has added on in a long time. I was very happy, and again, this is going to help you out a lot if you set up the policies. You will never have to worry about clicking the wrong button or another employee doing something and clicking the wrong button. That literally eliminates all of those issues. It just in the past, when you used to have to list something, it took 3 separate pages. Literally, you had to hit next, and then you would have to list just to do one single listing. And they've simplified it. This is probably one of the biggest simplified issues I've seen fixed in a long time, at least for me, because, if something changes, the market changes or something, and you want to change shipping, boom, you can just change it. And if, let's say, you wanted to do a special one, you just go back up here to the little button, and you can change stuff. You can change the policy for these listings. Like, let's say there's these 3,800 or 3,802 listings here. I can switch them to any one of the other policies in a minute. If you wanted to create a policy, you can just go up here and create whichever kind you want, whether it's shipping, return, payments. And again, this affects every listing you tie these to. For like the return policy, every one of my auctions has the same return policy. So, that's a big plus, and it's an easy way to do it. I would never do it another way now that they have this feature. And it's something you have to opt into. I could opt out if I really wanted to, but I've used similar items. Most industrial or corporations use something almost identical to this. And, as for those people who have done Amazon, Amazon only uses a system like this that you can set policies, and they just follow the item wherever it goes. So there's no mix-up. There's no mess. If the price changes for shipping, that doesn't affect anything at all. The only ones, you might have to worry about is if you're setting a flat rate. But again, you can set up a policy for flat rate. So if the shipping charges change, you just alter the policy. So, everything in this is set up to be easy and quick to fix your listings and to make changes. So, that's what I did. And I spent, an hour or so doing that this morning with both of ours. I had to fix 40,000 almost listings. And it was a big, easy joy. I actually liked playing around and finding something new on eBay. I know this has been available for a while now to select people. I've had the option here for quite a while. Months ago it was added. I got a letter. I talked to the reps, months ago about this, but I didn't switch it over because I didn't see the need at the point. But now with any changes, I'm all set for anything that happens from this point on. And again, I would honestly recommend you, if you're small, set up a couple, defaults for your return, your payment, and your shipping. Set up a couple shippings if that's what it takes, like one for media, and then, one for just first class, and then one for priority. So you'd have basically 3 shipping policies, and then you just basically need 1 return for the most part, and then, 1 payment, because everybody usually gets payment by the same means, unless you want to set up one for like a local pickup, one where they wouldn't actually have to pay, online. But again, I would never recommend having somebody pay on local pickup unless it's totally already been processed through eBay, only because if you pay somebody outside and something happens to that listing, they could say that you tried to rip off eBay by going outside the system. I never do those. So if somebody's going to pick up a local one, I make them pay online, and then I'll go and meet them somewhere. That's just how I do it. It's the safest way to do it. But again, this is a big, huge plus. I was pretty excited to see this. It was neat to talk to the eBay again and find out that they actually fixed it, because I was just literally getting ready to give them a call back to see, hey, what's going on? My time's almost up, to fix my listings. What am I going to do? I'm not going to want to sit here and spend 6-7 hours or whatever length it would take to do 500 at a time and then go back in and try and figure out how to check every one of the listings to make sure that I didn't have a rolling relist on items, because every day I have, hundreds sometimes. Sometimes I have 1,000 or 2 listings relisting, on any given account. And if those happen in between me updating listings, it could screw me over a little bit, and I might miss a whole bunch of them, or have to go back in and figure out where they're at. But that's a big plus. And for those of you who are going to be doing the 30-day seller returns, again, the feature is not yet added for you to differentiate between free returns for U.S. and paid returns for international. Because I'm doing paid returns for international. I will give up Top Rated Plus if I have to for overseas. I am not going to get hit with one of the massive charges on items that way. So again, in the easiest way to do that, as opposed to going back in and having to edit every one of my listings, is just to use the policies here. And that is going to tie in. I've already talked to eBay as well. In the next 2 weeks or so, we should see it. It was supposed to be ready already, but I don't see any options for it. And they're supposed to be doing a rollout. And I'm supposed to get an email or a call from our eBay rep, and they're supposed to go over that when it's available. I've been asking about it now for a couple days, and I should have it here in a couple weeks. And that'll allow you the freedom again to only do the free returns, for the U.S. customers. And again, it's not available now. And again, as I said, business policies will be the easiest, quickest way to do that. It's a no-brainer. I would 100% recommend everybody, whether you're starting off or now, to do the policies. But I'm going to show you two real quick. I'm going to show you what they actually look like when you go into a listing. So let's go in and just pick. Let's edit an item here. Here's a nice beer company advertising card from 1893 Columbian Exposition. Let's show you the bottom. And you're going to see a big difference here. Now all it has for shipping and the whole works is your policy. So payment policy, standard payment policy, that's my default. Shipping policy, again, the shipping policies I'm going to be changing around, but it's put them in the easiest available category, which just is for first class. And if you remember on your listings how to add all the other stuff here, like how you're going to returns and all the other little options that you had are now gone when you do the policies, and all you're going to see is these policies. So if you want to change every aspect of, all of these all at once for every listing, it's just a piece of cake now. And again, it shortens the whole form up. So, this is it. It'd be nice if they let you remove some of the features. Like I could care less about the standout bold. That's just an accident waiting to happen. And I usually don't use the Gallery Plus because in some categories they've changed it. So if you use it once and then they change it, the Gallery Plus might be a charged feature. So, but that's literally what it shows you in here. You can see how there's really nothing after the bottom of it. It's a lot less to look at. It really cleans up the look when you're listing something right off the bat, just like some of the other features here that they have, but it's a quick, easy fix. And again, I really like the way this looks. This is one of my favorite things they've done recently. I've got faith in eBay still because they have been on the ball with everything lately, but that's how it looks here. I've had some picks this week. I've got some really interesting items. I'm probably going to do a researching records for you too, so you can kind of get an idea on how to narrow down your search. And I'm going to show you probably some labels of records that almost everything on that label goes for some good money. But that's going to be coming up this week. I also have a Excel breakdown on some of my sheets that I have. I'm not really up on where you can post or add actual downloadable links, so I'm going to have to look into that because I'd like to add some actual Excel spreadsheets that I have for everybody else to be able to download for free, of course, and use. It's stuff that I've used for a while. And some of these are going to be my older forms that I've used in the past that I've, have more advanced forms that I use only because I've got so many different sites we sell. And we still sell on 5 or 6 sites. Obviously, as I said, I do not do Poshmark anymore, but we still do 5 routine sites. And then I've got a 6th one that we do in season for like the Halloween stuff and Christmas I do a lot of. But that's why I'm going to be showing you just specific sheets. I'm going to give you some stuff that's going to help you. I've got some bolos coming that I'll go over with you too this week. And again, live video is coming really soon here. Hopefully next Wednesday is my hopeful rollout day for our 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Ohio time live show. And again, that should be at 7 o'clock Wednesdays, hopefully starting next week, a week from today. And that'll be something to look forward to. I will probably put some quick posts out there announcing that it's coming so you can be aware, and I can have a good turnout so that we can actually get some questions answered and get to know some people here from that. But again, Don, the Auction Professor, Hopefully you can see the benefit out of business policies, and hopefully you use it. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and tell a friend.